me. My bad, y'all. It's us. It's your boys. It's three of the four corners of commentary. Mr. K Marvel is dealing with some family business, so we're gonna let the what should we call ourselves? We're gonna let the crazies run the asylum, I guess.
The triangle.
Okay, so we're the Bermuda Triangle.
For now.
So I will start it off. Hey Marvel, Instagram, Twitter there.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy QS.
Hello, my students. It is I, your human encyclopedia, the big stretch.
That was a great intro. Definitely great.
Well, Matt Stryker reference there.
And it's me. I didn't get to change my name, StrykerDragoon, back in the building as always. And we are, as usual, your four corners. Well, three of the four. So we're the three. We're the three of commentary. The triangle. All right. So let's get to it. Hold on. Let me put this damn thing on the scroll. There we go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are shooting the shit for the end of 2022. And normally our shoot the shit sessions are just us talking about random current events, random anything from any, any topic, not necessarily wrestling. Could include wrestling, but not necessarily everything wrestling. So first and foremost, what's up with us? How's everybody?
I am tired.
Yeah, honestly just been tired. Like, really, like, just worn out. Low key, like, thinking about maybe, like, taking probably an extra day off. I'm just exhausted. That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's been stressful. It's been a stressful week for me.
Yeah.
I am running on 2 energy drinks that I did not know were energy drinks until I finished the first one, and I had a lot of caffeine today. I'm just ready to crash.
I get that.
But yeah. So aside from that, anything y'all want to discuss tonight?
I mean,
well, floor is yours.
I was gonna say, like, start. I just want to start out like a quick RIP to Twitch. I know everybody doesn't know Twitch. It was Ellen's DJ on the Ellen show, and Twitch has always been like, he's always been seen on social media as like this guy full of joy, of positivity. It just came out that he had passed away due to suicide. It's and it still comes off sudden, just a couple of days after he just celebrated his anniversary with his wife, his kids. But stuff like this really makes it comes full circle, because I know, like, since a lot of us we don't know Twitch, we just know him from what we see on TV. We don't know him personally, but it goes to show, like, you could have all the money, you could have all the fame, you could even have, like, such the supposed good life, and you really don't, and behind closed doors, you still don't know what you're dealing with. People don't know what you're really dealing with behind closed doors. So that's why, when they always keep telling you, be kind, be mindful, it's a real true thing. Because everybody, if anything, makes you realize that this life stuff, this shit with life, it's hard. Even people with money, it's still life. It's still hard. Like, all of it, we always think like it's with us because we're trying to make it. We're trying to just figure it out, that everything is going to be, like, everything's hard and everything. But, like, just goes to show, like, even people who we look to deem as successful, they're dealing with it just as much as we are. So it's like, but I always say, like, not just like, be kind to others, but also, like, reach out. If anything, reach out to your community, love up on your community, just love up on each other, because, again, you never know. You never know. As always, again, just rest in peace, condolences to to his family, his wife, his kids. But because it just looks like the world, we just lost another amazing, seems like an amazing individual, a joy to be around, one that made everyone feel good, made everybody happy. It's just a shame that you know another individual like this is just gone. So that's all I got for that.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that
Uh,
any better.
yeah, it's. I don't know if I'm using the word right. Not epidemic, but was it endemic? I believe. Maybe I'm not using the word right, but mental health. Like there's so many different levels of mental health deterioration that's happening in the world right now. And as I feel, the more we focus on it, it feels like the tougher it's getting, for
Mhm.
everybody. Like the more everybody spotlights it, or the more that everybody has been, focusing on trying to strengthen their mental health, it seems like just the opposite is just trying, clashing with it full force. So it's hard for you to really sit down and say, hold on, let me switch it back. Yeah, it's hard to really say, how can I put this into words? It's hard to really say that things are getting better, or we're putting a spotlight on it, we're making it known that everybody has mental health issues, but it also seems like a lot more things are happening to deter us from keeping our mental health strong. So everybody's struggles are different. Not a support system doesn't always help everybody, but for those who are willing to reach out and get the help they need, sometimes people, just can't take it anymore. But, no judgment, uh things happen. It as you can see, even the richest people in the world are not happy. Robin Williams, Jason David Frank just recently. Like we can mention so many people, and it
Yeah,
just seems that people are just not happy with their lives.
yeah, like suicide, like again, when you get into the form of suicide ideation, and once you get into that mindset, it really is very hard to pull yourself out of it. And it's like
Uh-huh.
everyone could keep telling you, oh, you're loved, you matter. We could keep saying this. We all keep saying this. You can go to all the therapy. You can go. You even take the medication to help stop the chemical imbalance. But once you get into that mindset of past ideation, and you're literally at that point where you're really just ready, it does nothing is really going to stop it. And I think that's what really is sad, and it's
Yeah,
very saddening because it's really happening more in our community more than anything. Like
yeah,
it's a even at an alarming rate,
Hmm.
especially with black men. It's getting this does need to be a concern. It does need to be talked about, and we really got to figure this out. I don't know how. I don't know. I still don't know. Don't have the true answer on how we're going to be able to figure it out. But a conversation really does need to be had, because this is for someone that you think that was so revered and so loved, and seemed like to be such a joy to be around. It really does come off like, oh, whoa, this is crazy. How how did this happen?
Right.
You're always going to keep wondering, how did this happen? Why did it happen? What could we do? What can be done to make this better?
right. It's becoming a thing, but just like
Yeah,
everything else, like the more, it's just everything. The more you spotlight something and try to make it a better situation, there's always going to be that creeping, that, not, wouldn't say doubt, because that can be tricky too, but it's just more so the opposite tends to push that way too.
I get
But
that.
every obstacle, every time you try to build it back up, sometimes there's going to be stuff to oppose you. So not everybody has the, I wouldn't say the mental capacity, but not everybody has the willpower to fight it all the time.
Yeah.
So for those who make it through, you know, you remember you're blessed. You are able to, you know, power through, because some people just can't take it. Doesn't matter how rich, doesn't matter how good they live their life. Sometimes that's not enough.
Yeah.
So if you do need help, and this is for everybody watching, this is for anybody who watches this in the future, please seek help. Sometimes therapy doesn't help, but if you have somebody close to you, clutch them hard. If at any point, you know, you do lose that support system, please look for help. Try everything you can before you even try to hit that point, because there at some point, you know, there will be, you know, I would say a light in all of that darkness. So don't give up on yourselves. I just had to tell somebody this today. Like, you know, don't feel like you're a failure. Like, everybody has to go through their struggles and their hard times before they reach their pinnacle. And sometimes, you know, the pinnacle's not enough. But for those who are willing to strive and make their way, bless you.
Yeah.
Enjoy every day, enjoy every minute, make every moment of your life the best that it can be. Because life is short, regardless to what, regardless to if it is at our own hands or if it's by nature itself. Life is short. Make the best of it every day. Check on your friends, check on your loved ones, check on the strong ones that check on you. Make sure you check on everybody. That is the most important thing.
Not even check on the ones that check on you. Just if you feel that this is someone that you consider a friend and you got to reach out, reach out. Don't let stop like some people that you. So when you say like when we not to cut you, not even to cut you off, but you know
No,
when you
you're
say
you're good. You're good.
yeah, well some folks love to go with that narrative saying you know check on the people that check on you, like that you don't even realize. Again, we don't know what everybody's going through. That same individual that you expected or thought would check on you because you check on them, they could be really going through something even just as much. We're never gonna know. They might not even have the capacity to actually reach out and check on you. Just
Right.
it's just perspective. That's so if you feel like you gotta reach out, reach out.
Right.
Especially if it's someone you consider friend, someone that you love, reach out. Just reach out. Just do it.
Yeah, because even if, well, in a similar vein, I'm basically saying check on the strong ones, the ones that
Yeah.
everybody thinks are, you know, they're
Yeah.
doing great in
Oh,
life.
especially that because those same strong friends, they don't want to be strong anymore. They're tired of being strong. Like being strong is not it's not a badge of honor for them. Like this just especially when they're going through so much like this, they don't want to be strong. They really want that all of this pain and all of that to stop. They don't that's not so it's like, yeah, just check on them. Check.
Yeah.
Just check in. Check in.
Just check in
Do what you gotta do.
every other day, or every day if you can. Just make sure everybody's cool, because you never know, that one day out of the 5 days that you don't check on somebody, something may really happen that might be, you know, the difference between life and passing away.
It's a fact.
But rest in peace to DJ Twitch. Prayers to the family. I hope they find some peace. Um, you know, and peace doesn't have to be tomorrow. It can take time, but I hope they do find peace.
Same.
One day at a time.
Yep,
That's
take
one day
time.
at a time. You know, that's not going to happen overnight. Rome wasn't
Yeah.
built today. It was definitely going to take one day at a time for that family to find peace. You know.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world, man. Crazy world we living in.
Unfortunate problem in society.
Yeah.
And it can happen to anybody too. You know, that's
Yeah,
the
it
thing.
can happen to anybody. You know,
Anybody,
nobody's
you know,
nobody's
just-
above it or
Yeah.
or below it. Like
Right.
Nobody's exempt.
If
It's
anybody.
just it literally could happen to anyone, and that's like the scariest thing about it. It's like this could really happen to anybody. Like anybody can go through this. It's just we just have to really come together and figure out a reason. How can we like stop or you not we can't not I'm not going to say it's unrealistic to say erase it, but how can we like try to slow it down?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, like, well, I don't even want to drag the topic more, but like, you hear about stuff in the army, you're hearing how people are dropping like flies in the army and the military, from this. And like, just imagine if people in the military are going through this. Like, I can only imagine, how rampant it is around the world. Like, things since COVID, things have not been the greatest. Some people haven't recovered, so honestly, wherever you can find peace, even if it's in a video game, reading books, whatever it is that brings you peace, seek it. Whatever makes you happy, do it.
Yeah.
But on let's switch it, I guess, to a lighter note. Or could we say it's a lighter note? It's not as dark as this, but we're just gonna speak about whatever comes to mind. First thing that came to mind, which wasn't really a darker tone, but it's still pretty bad, I guess. Henry Cavill is gone as Superman.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Because they brought him in for Black Adam. I don't know if everybody cares to see Black Adam. It's a bit of a spoiler, but Henry Cavill came back in the end credits as Superman to confront Black Adam.
Yeah.
And he was called literally in September to come and do this reshoot, this little clip and whatnot. It was heavily requested by The Rock as well, which I think was cool. But James Gunn, which is the director of Guardians of the Galaxy for Marvel, and some other movies, if you don't know. I think did he do Brightburn?
I think so.
I think he did Brightburn, right? And Brightburn's
basically Superman if he was a douche. He was
right. So see how that works out. I made that mesh well. But
story if he was an edgelord incel.
Right. But basically, James Gunn, which is the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy series for Marvel, the movies, he and Peter Safran are now running DC Studios. They're no longer the DC Entertainment Universe. They are now the DC Universe, or the DC Studios universe. They've been basically firing people left and right. They've been meeting with people. They've been, telling people that, hey, we want this to go in this direction. We want this to go in that direction and stuff and whatnot. And from what we've been seeing, he's completely removing the Snyderverse. Aquaman's done after 2. Jason Momoa is getting recast, supposedly Lobo, which is the character that he really wanted to play in DC. Gal Gadot is gone from Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because I saw
Patty Jenkins. Basically, they said they didn't want anything to do with what she was doing, so they completely canned Wonder Woman 3. But they removed her. Ben Affleck is gone. He's not playing Batman anymore. He's not doing the cameo roles that he was set up to do. What else do we have? If you know the Ezra Miller situation, they're not going to be in any role after this, especially if he gets convicted, if they get convicted, excuse me. And who else am I missing? And then, now Henry Cavill is gone. So, what do y'all think at least about the shakeup? They met with the Batgirl directors, and apparently they're in good hands. So we might end up seeing Batgirl back again.
I don't really see this as like, I want to say like, oh, this is like a shakeup, because it's not. I can't consider this a shakeup. It just seems a lot of like, whoa, because it looked like DC was going in the right direction, and yet somehow, some way, they're back to being on another reset of a reset, and it's like, for what? Like, you had everybody excited. You had people that had the roles that we got used to that matched the Henry Cavill for Superman. It worked. It was like okay, good. It was good to know that he was coming back for Superman, and then you go to a complete 180 and say like, nah, we actually don't need you for Superman anymore.
Right.
He gave up The Witcher to do this. Like, that's like, seriously, like we're not even gonna like, we're not gonna care about what the fans think. That's why this WB like Discovery thing, it really like makes me look at it and be like, yo, how big of a shakeup are you guys really trying to do? That's
Right.
my whole take. Like, what are we really doing here? I mean, Wonder Woman 3 getting canned, it's just like, oh, okay.
It was whatever to me. Like it was
Yeah.
2 was bad. The only good thing about 2 was Cheetah.
2.
That was the only good thing about 2.
2 was not bad.
Yeah.
It was not.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was bad, but
it wasn't. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it wasn't bad.
It was nonsensical because even Maxwell Lord is not meant to be that character. That's never been his character, so that makes no sense to me.
But you see, that's. I think this is the reason why WB is going through DC is going through so much of a shakeup like this now, because of like when we get subjective opinions like that, it's just like, seriously, like we're gonna like, everybody wants it to be completely like the comics. Like, are we serious right now? Like,
no, but it becomes the Marvel conflict for me, where we're making powerful characters or characters who have pivotal roles in the larger scheme of things, and we make them one-offs. So, for example, I can compare Maxwell Lord to Gore the God Butcher in Thor. They made him a complete joke. He is nowhere near the scale of destruction as he should have been in Thor Love and Thunder. So for Maxwell Lord to be this regular Joe Schmo that, gets a wishing stone and he decides to be the conduit where everybody's wishes, no matter if it's good or bad, he's getting power from it. Like, that's not who he was in the comics. He was a literal threat to the Justice League in the comics.
right.
So how are you making him this schmuck, this poor schmuck at that, and turn him from what he was in the comics to that? And then you have Pedro Pascal play the role, and he's a great actor. You're gonna have him play the role, and it's a wasted role. To me, that's why I'm saying, like, if you're gonna do a movie like that, you could have just kept it as Cheetah, and you could have done more of a mythological backstory.
I wouldn't mind seeing Ares actually.
But they did Ares in the first movie.
They did Ares in the first movie.
Yeah, but that's like the thing. Like, I don't think they do. I want to see where James Gunn is going to take this. I agree with QS in the sense, like, I don't think this wasn't to be expected. Like, any director that comes in, or any creative director or creative force, is going to bring his people in. WWE and Triple H, ring a bell?
Right, correct.
Right? So I don't think it's to be not expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, they really need to retool what they do with their villains. Like, I can't name, outside of what, maybe General Zod, Michael Shannon, that was like an interesting villain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of some sort. Like, Zod felt threatening.
Yeah.
And there's so many plot holes in their movies. Like, for example, like, I remember teasing a friend, we were talking about Justice League, and this is a long time ago, right? Like, Justice League, we all went to see Justice League, right? I didn't hate Justice League, but also I don't think it was a good movie.
Wasn't.
I remember saying to myself, like, so let me get this straight. This guy who's, has a connection to the mother box or whatever like that, he's just like, he feels where the mother box is, and it's like, oh, I'll wait for the good guys to find him. What sense does that make? It's like those little things right there need to be retooled for it to be like any semblance of like interesting to me. I'll wait and see. I think I'm an optimist when it comes to those things, but
right. But how long do we have to wait? You understand what I mean?
I'm not clamoring for like, oh, this is something to watch out for. I'm not that guy by any means. Like, I'm still very skeptical on the live action DC stuff. So
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so to me, it's Well, like they're gonna reboot Superman. They're gonna reboot not reboot Batman. I think they're gonna keep Robert Pattinson's Batman. They're gonna try and meld him into the universe or whatever. But to me, I think Henry Cavill was perfect for Superman. Maybe the script didn't match the Superman that he wanted to be because he's very, close to the comics. So as to why he left The Witcher, he was done with the bullshit they were doing with the show. Like they completely deviated from the books, and that's what really turned him off from the Witcher role. So when season 3 comes out, that's his last showing on the Witcher, and then season 4 is going to be Liam Hemsworth as Geralt for that season on.
Okay.
Yes, so that's based. So for DC, like they say the slate is supposed to be announced early next year. So we'll see what's going on with that. But I'm ready for Jason Momoa as Lobo. I think that's gonna be epic because it's him. It's literally him, just being him.
It's
just literally him being him. In a role. Like it would be super fun. What's next? Let's see. We did DC. Do you want to talk about the shit show that was the 2 hours wasted supercut of Dark Side of the Ring?
This is going to be brief.
It should be a shame advertising that as a documentary. That's not documentaries.
Not even that. Because it wasn't just that, like that foolish documentary. Honestly, like it brought more buzz to like watch it because of, we all saw, the Wall Street Journal come out and say like, that Vince has thought about, Vince apparently he's thinking he wants to make a comeback. This is what he wants. He wants to make a comeback because he feels that he was told to step down out of bad faith. And he thought that all of this would have blown over. Obviously now it's recently came out that once that report came out that he wanted to come back, the stock dropped by 20%. So if that is not showing anybody that if that's not showing anyone that that Vince clearly does not need to be back here in WWE, there's nothing much more that you could say. Like we all know that Vince still owns the majority of the company. We already know that he owns the shares. He has, no matter what, he has the system set up to no matter what, he will never be able to lose. The family will never be able to lose that company. That's the point. So it's like a beautiful version of Succession in real life. That. But at the same time, does the current atmosphere, with Trips at the helm of creative, you have Steph basically and Nick Khan running as both co-CEOs. They're already sitting here trying to bring back the trust of the staff. Do they really want to think like it would have been smart to just have Vince just come in here and think that Vince is going to steamroll his way in? No, it's not happening. Like
even got a board of directors for that.
And not even then, it's like even with the board of directors, like they really, it would have to be a long deliberation for that to come. Like I said, Vince ending up coming back would only work, I guess, for like the global aspect or like the global business deals that they already have. Like, because again, Vince was at the helm and he was their figurehead. He was the reason why they were making so much money. But they've clearly shown that they can make just as much money without him. So now you are able to see that this era where Vince is not the one sitting here really making all the decisions, it's not the end of the world. It can happen. You just gotta what folks do have to do is just be a little bit patient. And I think that's our problem with Vince is he's conditioned everyone, all of us, to be like either we don't let anything play out, or we're just so conditioned to the entertainment that we see on WWE programming. So you just automatically, so now everybody wants to keep bringing up the ratings. They want to bring him they want to bring ratings up, they want to bring the viewerships, they want to bring the deals. So everything's not set in stone. It's just, this is a new revamp. This is honestly, this is the most, probably the happiest, I would want to say the happiest that you've seen the staff of the company, at least, because from it seems the higher ups they're not thinking, they're not even thinking of bringing him back. Like they're like, no, he's gone.
I'll interject. I think this is the happiest the staff has been. If you've heard whatever the dirt sheets have been saying,
Yeah,
even
like,
whatever reports are coming out, they said the morale is high, like it's never been this high.
Yeah, it's high.
So
Granted, like I said, the morale is high. You clearly see they want to be able to, like, all right, let's it's a whole new chapter. Let's move forward. Try to treat it as best as we can. We deal with the punches along the ways. Like that's it. Like you don't have Vince there. You don't have Johnny Ace there. Obviously, yes, there's still some fragments of the old era still there. You know, the Kevin Dunns, the Bruce Pritchards. That's occasionally we can hope that they eventually they'll get ousted out. They'll get sent out of there soon. But for right now, you gotta be okay with what it is. It's they're in the new trajectory of just they want to make it work. So let them make it work. Like we don't need Vince there. And like I said, that Vince documentary, like, you know, we all wanted to watch it because we saw everything that the Wall Street Journal when he blurted out again, while also because we also know that one of the other women, Rita Chatterjee, she is I think Vince's was to pay her $11.75 million for that whole the fiasco between those two. So we were obviously we all came to watch this documentary thinking that it was going to be some like tell all, like the 9 lives of Vince McMahon. So we're trying to really see, like, all right, so how much I honestly thought it was going to be like a 9-part series. I'm like, okay, so this is it. It's gonna bury him, and it wasn't. It was just a 2-hour special of Dark Side of the Ring supercuts put all together, and they literally was just I wouldn't even say they were trying to smear Vince. It literally was everything that you already knew about him. You knew, right? We all knew these things about Vince.
But just the 10-15 minutes of the latest stuff, and I'm like, come on, like we're watching clips, and here's what really pissed me off. I was watching Vice for 2 hours before this, and the last 2 episodes they showed were Vince McMahon related episodes. So I said, why would you show that just to add a super cut?
The Owen Hart death and the steroid trial. I was watching the same thing. They was showing Dark Side of the Ring all day. Like it was all day Dark Side of the Ring, and then it turned into Dark Side of the Ring revamped with this 9 lives of Vince McMahon. It was a joke.
That's what got me the most. It was like, okay, it's like, okay, we're gonna show you this documentary. Right before the documentary, we're just gonna make it longer. Like it's literally supercuts of Dark Side of the Ring episodes just smeared together, like one after the other, with like a narrator like trying to stitch, like, see, this is what makes Vince McMahon a horrible person. And it's like, okay, like I'm not here to dispute the morality of Vince McMahon. Like I think he's like any other businessman where he's like, you know, sure, he's done a lot of horrible fucking things. Like I'm not here like to kiss Vince McMahon's ass. Like there are a lot of stories of him also being very altruistic, but you know, at the end of the day, if the guy's like being investigated for like sexual assault and stuff like that, fuck him. You know, but at the end of the day, it's like with this documentary, like for fuck's sake, like put some effort into it. Like, and how long ago was this announced? Like, was this not announced?
It was a year or so ago. Like, it's supposed to be on Netflix.
How lazy was this?
Yeah.
Like, how lazy was this?
I think Netflix had something and they were supposed to drop it, and then Vice said they were taking it on or something like that, and they decided.
No, I think they was doing like a biopic of him on Netflix.
That's what it was, right?
And after all the allegations came out, they scrapped it.
Yeah, like they nixed all that stuff when allegations came out and everything, which was understandable. Like you knew that was going to happen. He was going to take something else somewhere, you know. But even at the same token, like I see people talking like Vince. Oh, he is the board. He can force himself back. Number one, that's not how business works. He cannot just
it's not how it works.
Himself just because he owns the company. Like you remember when Ted Turner was like losing his shit like the first time, and he still owned CNN. Like they could easily vote like no confidence, and people are like, "Oh, he is the board." I'm like, everything he does as an owner still has to come to a vote. Like he cannot just literally do what he wants. It's almost like the checks and balances. Right, in American government, like the president literally cannot do what he wants. Like he has to answer to someone. He does not have absolute power. He has a lot of power because he owns the company. He has a majority.
You still got to go through the Senate. Still got to go through Congress.
Go through the system.
And ultimately, the last is judicial, I believe, right? The last for the American government. Well, the U.S. government.
Legislative. The executive branch overrides the judicial branch. The judicial branch enforces the legislative branch. And the legislative branch, you know, it has precedent over the president, you know, over the executive branch. Like, for example, the legislative branch is just literally laws. The laws that are in place that you cannot do this because you are president, right? Supreme Court enforces those laws and can change them based on interpretation, and the president basically can say "fuck you" to the Supreme Court.
There you go.
You know,
that's how lesson, everybody.
Same thing in business. The board in this case is the legislative branch, and he is the executive branch. He cannot just do what he wants. I've seen so many conspiracy theories about people who have no idea how business works. Like, people are like, "Oh, he can just make the company private again, so he's gonna fuck himself out of millions and millions of dollars just so he can come back." Like, that makes no sense. Like, he's gonna make the company private again just so he can come back and install himself. That makes no sense. Here's what's going to happen, most likely in a very realistic sense. They're probably going to sit him aside. And when I say they, I probably mean his daughter and the rest of his family immediate that works with the company, Triple H, whoever else has shares in the company, his son Shane, whatever. They're probably going to tell him to sit his old ass down. And be like, "Listen, this is a publicly traded company now. Like, we've already proven like the stock price has gone up. When you coming back on board, it will drop again, most likely, given the allegations and everything and the public perception. Sit your old ass down at home, and you're gonna make this money and be happy with it."
That's it. They're getting the check.
He's still not really. That's the thing. Like that really like encompasses like the 9 lives of Vince McMahon, so to speak, right? Even throughout all this public scandal and everything, he's non-disclosure agreements, premarital, extramarital affairs, or whatever, which we all know was happening anyway, right?
Still making money.
Extramarital affairs, hush money, all that stuff, all the deplorable shit that he's done in the past. He's still making more money than he's ever fucking made. Like, he's the owner of the company, he has no shares. The price just went up so many god awful amounts of percent. So it's like, what can you expect? Right.
And it's not to say the product is bad. They're trying everything. They're doing everything different. NXT is booming. Everything's booming. You have the biggest act in all of wrestling on one of your shows. You're getting all of the talent back that you had let go or that they had let go at the time. And everybody's doing something. The fact that backstage morale is happy and people can job and still be happy at the job that they work. And when I say job, I mean jobber for anybody watching. But to have high morale and everybody just wants to come to work and try new shit and enjoy themselves sounds like a perfect workplace to me. Can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with it. You can't even be mad at it. It's like, yo, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Like, so here is Mr. K Marvel.
Yo, y'all hear me good?
Here we go.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
We're good, brothers.
Chilling.
First and foremost, excuse the video not being on. I am currently on my way home. Baby girl had the winter break for her school, and she's part of the dance team, so part of the dance club. So little one killed it out there. So proud of her.
Congrats.
Yeah, man. Like y'all to meet Super Saiyan Mini K, Chibi K. That's
that's your avatar.
My nephew made it.
Oh, okay.
That man is, and that's nothing compared to some of the stuff. I gotta have him send me some stuff so I can show y'all. But when I tell you that boy can legitimately work for any comic book or anything like that and be okay at 16.
Yeah,
that boy is talented. I'm telling you. How we saw all that artwork, he can do that clean. Like I'll show y'all. But anyway, so shouts out to Jay, my little nephew, for this, for the thing, and RIP Twitch. I saw y'all spoke about him earlier today. With that being said, do y'all mind if I do a quick announcement before we keep going? Because I got some pretty dope news. I'm black and I'm proud. No,
The floor is yours.
so your boy is teaming up with Rodney Harris, the gentleman who was on the podcast last week, to bring forth a old idea with a fresh take. Well, with fresh ears and eyes. So a long time ago, I wanted to do a podcast called A Different Angle. Essentially, it was about exactly kind of what it sounded like, talking about the topics that weren't spoken about as much at the time. And this is like a high school idea, so I've had this idea for well over 15 years. But you know, mental health, eating disorders, rape. Like there's just so many topics that granted, you know, we know mental health has been a topic, a stronger topic within the last 4 to 5 years. But it's kind of late. And like I said, things just aren't spoken about enough. So Rodney and I are going to have a show called A Different Angle on prn.live. It's going to start at the beginning of the year. So that will be Friday at 5:00. We will have 3 shows pre-taped and 1 show live. So those live shows we can have, we're going to have callers, have y'all call in, preach. Brothers, y'all already know y'all definitely going to be on some of those. So I'll let y'all know. But yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. And next week, I think I should have like a definitive date down for the first show. But yeah, that'll be fun. So I'll let y'all know later. But yeah, your boy is officially a radio host.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Appreciate y'all. So yeah, man, just wanted to get that out the way, let everybody know, you know, the no matter what's going on, we're always moving up. We're always moving forward. So you know, please just make sure you hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. So brothers, I love y'all no matter what happens. You know, hug your kids, hug your pets. Like life is valuable, period. And sadly, I don't want to say sadly, but it really doesn't matter how quote unquote evil you are. You matter to somebody. And not everybody who is smiling is okay. So, and I think the 4 of us kind of know that firsthand. So please make sure to love people. Make sure to love who you love, and yeah, man, let's make it through this together. So, it was something I wanted to ask, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, since we're shooting the shit, Spider-Man, baby, can't wait. Spider-Man 2 comes out, what, March or sometime in the fall?
Definitely said fall 2023. So that should be
wait.
So that should be a September game. So they're gonna drop Into the Spider-Verse, and then they're
Oh, you did say fall. Yeah, I was thinking spring. My bad.
Yeah, so Into the Spider-Verse is June 2nd. They showed a trailer. I hope you guys, you know, check on YouTube and enjoy that. But also
it looks so good.
That's also the same day that Street Fighter 6 drops as well. So that's gonna be a very
interesting. Oh, really?
Yep, same day.
That's dope.
But I guess it makes sense that it drops in September. I think the original game
dropped in September. Yeah,
I think it dropped in September, so it makes sense
that
they dropped the second one then.
Because that was a birthday gift. I remember that.
But on that note, I'm very glad Insomniac was the one that confirmed that it wasn't leaked. So I think that's really
cool. For sure.
In other game news, I just managed to get, after cursing out FedEx,
Uh,
Crisis Core.
Oh,
nice.
Final Fantasy Reunion. I have the
Yo, I
Switch
can't
version because another set of news. I'm a part of the PS5 gang as of January.
Hey, congrats, bro.
So
Welcome.
I will be getting my PS5 and I will be streaming all the games that I need to be streaming for the Dragoon Haven.
Congrats,
Also, thank you. Also, I just finished God of War last night.
Ragnarok?
Yeah, I finished Ragnarok last night.
Better, or the same level as the first one.
A lot more emotional. It's a tale. It's really a tale for single parents or just men as fathers. It is a really emotional tale. Like you see the story of Atreus growing up as a teen, and you see teen struggles or preteen struggles, but you also see Kratos struggling, to accept that his son is growing up. So
Yeah.
you start to really see, like, I think it's beautifully done. It's not forced, but you're starting to see as Kratos is aging that he's really learning to accept his humanity and not to be the old man that he used to be. But yeah,
That's
like
dope.
I literally could have cried throughout that whole thing. Like it was really emotional, really emotional. But
Yeah, I haven't. I meant to talk to you about it too, because y'all know how I was playing the first one. Man, Pokemon came out. I haven't touched that PS4 controller, right?
Well, that's for y'all Pokemon players. That's not me. I'm not playing Pokemon.
Listen, man.
When
Oh, sorry, Q. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, when you compare the story of God of War 2018 to God of War Ragnarok, it really is probably the best storytelling that you've seen from a single player game since, I guess, if you want to compare it to The Last of Us. This is storytelling is always, it's the gameplay. Obviously, the gameplay is fun. It's always going to be it's fun and some sort of perv, but the story itself, this for Ragnarok, this is what should have got a game of the year. This is what really should have got a game of the year. This is what, yeah, I really do believe so. I believe.
Good segue, because I believe so too. But I understand why Elden Ring won.
Well, would it count? But quick question. But technically, right? Shouldn't God of War be considered for next year's awards?
No, because they considered shit that came out. They did this before, which is annoying to me. They've considered stuff that came out in December.
Yeah.
Or was about to come out. Yeah, like they've considered stuff that came out like
because
weeks
they played
before.
Previews and shit.
Yeah.
Right. But that's why they have the most anticipated game category. So stuff that's supposed to come out within the year or announced.
Elden Ring, I only feel like the only reason why Elden Ring even got that Game of the Year award was only because
it got Game of the Year. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's my take, and I'm gonna stick with it forever. Like they only got it because of PvP. But if God of War was like, if this God of War was just like a multiplayer, had a multiplayer aspect to it as well, then yes, it probably would have won.
Or even if God of War had something like a co-op mode where one person could play Atreus and the other could play Kratos.
Right.
They could probably add that in.
They could.
At certain points in the game, you can. Oh, never mind.
You're
not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that, sir.
Yeah, it'll be a while.
You're not gonna do that.
No spoilers.
But
overall, like the game is a masterpiece. The series
definitely a masterpiece.
It's always going to be beloved. It's always going to be loved, no matter what. I would hope I want to just see, hopefully, that this isn't the end, and there's more to come. We just gotta wait.
Did you beat it too, Hugh?
Oh, absolutely. I was the first one to beat it out of everybody. I beat it.
Oh.
I beat it before. Like, so that's why like if anything like I could have like that real conversation with Stryker on it because it's like I've
of course.
It's the rest of y'all got to catch up.
I obviously have a discrepancy, but we'll speak about it later. But
like I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up so that way you can finally have like the God of War like deep dive. If anything.
Yeah.
I might end up running through the old games. I might end up running through like all of the games. I have to go get the collection back from my bro, but I want to run through all of the games from the beginning.
You have fun with that.
You didn't download it from the PSN? Didn't they have it for free?
No, I have. When I was working Toys R Us, I used to buy the collections. So I have Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
I have as Sly Cooper. I have Ratchet and Clank. I have God of War. I have there was another one and I forgot. But basically all those like the Insomniac and Sony Santa Monica collections they used to do. Yeah, but I've been at Spyro. Yeah. I didn't get anything after like 3 though. Like I could have played them when it was new, but I never decided to play them. I always was stuck on 1. I always loved 1. I never wanted to play the rest of them. Like 1 was it for me. But yeah, so on that note, I forgot something I was gonna mention. Forgot. What are y'all playing? What are y'all interested in playing in the next year? Because we have a lot of stuff coming out next year.
That's a good question.
Ooh, I already got mine.
I haven't really gotten a chance to sit down.
Not Spider-Man, sir. It's too easy.
No. I mean, I'm playing Pokemon, but go ahead, Q.
I was gonna say, obviously, I'm always gonna keep on playing Final Fantasy 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's never gonna end. I guess I'll be interested. I'll be interested to play 16. Like I don't care. It still hasn't the way the graphics look great. It just still hasn't caught me yet. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because of the letdown of 15. I really am not giving. I don't have my hopes up. I'm like I don't have my hopes up for 16, but it does. But 16 definitely looks fun, so I'll give it a chance. I guess you could say. I'll give AEW Fight Forever a chance as well. I'm nowhere near fucking impressed by the graphics, and none of it is impressive. But I'll just
it's an arcade game, so it is what it is.
I don't even call it arcade. It's just gonna be a game. It'll just be another like fighting game I have just to like another wrestling game I have when I get bored of like WWE 2K23. Because even though 22 is still enjoyable, 22 is still fun. It still has a fun replay value. But you already know, like when you get to that point where it's all right, it's winding down. You already know they're getting ready to release the next one next year.
Yep.
So you're just getting tired of playing 22. So I'm just like, oh well, I just want to see what I want to wait to see like when they launch it, when they launch the trailer, like what are we gonna get? What are we expecting? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
When do you think they're gonna drop it? August next year? Because they haven't been doing any promotion. They're gonna drop it at the trailer. They're gonna drop it at Mania.
No, bro. You talking about for 23?
Yeah,
they're gonna drop. They're gonna drop it around the Rumble. That's what they did last year.
They'll probably drop the trailer around the Rumble because it's like I said, they did say the rumors did say there's supposed to be some big like they're gonna drop it at like one of the shows. I think one show in LA. It's like a big thing they were all filming for in LA. So I know they're gonna probably. So it probably will come out. It'll probably either come out by Mania weekend or probably come out after Mania. It's yeah.
Last year it came out the week before Mania, right?
It was early March, I think.
It was very close to Mania. Like maybe
it was supposed to drop in January, I believe, but
they pushed it to March.
Oh, that's what yeah.
That's why I'm saying I don't know if that's how they're keeping it because normally, remember, it used to be SummerSlam, and then they'd have the whole weekend to really like
and it'll drop in October. But
remember, it's because they took because of they realized how bad 20 was. They took like a good 2-year hiatus, so it was
true.
Let's go through this period instead.
I mean, that's the thing about 23 is that I think honestly, in my opinion, as of right now, I think Mania is probably the best time to drop it. It partially because we always heard JR say this, but we know this for a fact. Wrestling doesn't have an off season. You know what I mean? So I think the fact that it would drop, let's say before Mania, quote unquote, the beginning of the new year for WWE, I think Mania is probably the best point to drop it. But 23 should be interesting. Everything Q has said about 22 is absolutely correct. It is a lot of fun still. Aside of the glitches, because I know the PS4 gets a lot more glitches than the PS5. But even with those, I mean, the game is fun. It's easy to pick up. Fight Forever, same thing. Look, I'll say this, right? Everybody talks about the graphics. Kenny, Aubrey, Cody, no one ever said that the game was going to be a graphical masterpiece. You know what I mean? They always said that it was supposed to be reminiscent of an older, one of the best wrestling games. People say one of the best wrestling games. So which we know is No Mercy. But I think it's gonna end up pretty good. It's supposed to be one. And like Stryker said, it's an arcade style game. So I think people are looking for too much because we are used to too much. If that makes sense. But I'm playing Pokemon Violet right now. The open world is really dope. You can really go to any gym you want first.
They really let you go
bro,
like that in
is,
that game?
Bro, it is legitimately an open world game.
Okay.
It is. I'll leave it at this. Think of Breath of the Wild. It's very similar. It's very similar to that. But it is a lot of fun. The new Pokemon are cool. There's a dolphin. There's a dolphin Pokemon, and it's not really spoilers. Either you're gonna catch the shit or you're not. And I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's funny because he has his regular form, and then he evolved, and he's still regular with a star on his chest, and you're like, the fuck, what? You know what I mean? What is this?
Superman dolphin.
He doesn't move, goes back to the Pokeball, and then you throw out somebody else. But when you switch back, he's literally a hero, like a superhero.
That's crazy.
That shit is fire. His whole stance.
It's like a Superman dolphin.
Yeah.
Now, I have Pokemon Scarlet, and I've already beat it, so I had to bust Kyle with that. But
watch your mouth. Nah.
Watch your mouth. It's the truth.
Whatever, man. I'm getting close. I beat all the gyms. I think I'm just missing one more. I'm just missing one more thing of the 3, and then it's I guess the ending parts, but whatever.
That's cute.
So that's Pokemon, Fireside for you.
Yeah, no, this yeah, right. Nah, this game's worth the buy though. If anybody is still kind of on the fence, it's no. It's fine to wait for sure, but it's worth the money.
It's worth the buy. I would say it's worth the buy, but you have to be a fan of the series.
Yeah, yes. It's becoming more so that, and that's what scares me. They're gonna be making the diehards are gonna they're gonna make money regardless.
They're gonna be making money off remakes a lot sooner. Our generation for Pokemon, it's always gonna sell, but our generation is all right.
If they redo Black and White, I'll probably get it.
I'll tell you this. I think that if you gave me I was telling the fellas this, before you had jumped on, if you gave me a Gen 1 or a Gen 2 or even a Gen 3 remake with this type of an engine, people will go crazy with this.
Gen 3 especially.
Our generation,
If they do Gen 3 with everything from cancel up to Gen 3, that's it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah,
Bro,
I agree.
I'm telling you now, if they do a remake like this of Silver, y'all ain't gonna find me. I'm not showing up to work.
Like when they gave a yellow version remake with this type of engine, people would go crazy.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
But that's why I say if they do the 3 islands, that's perfect.
Yeah, that would be pretty
game
lit.
would last you. Like everybody complaining about, we're not getting full decks, or they're adding expansions and stuff like that. This is exactly how the game should have been.
Yeah,
I've been saying this for years.
The funny thing about people complaining about the expansions, and I don't know if we spoke about this last year or not, or the year before or something.
With Sword and Shield, yeah, we spoke about
it. People complaining about expansions, but then if they came out, if they came out with Sword and Shield and it came out with Pokemon Gun, I bet people would have ran and fucking bought that shit. Like shut up, it's the same shit. Like, just fucking enjoy it. Like,
the same shit.
people just want to find things to complain about, and this is why I am not bringing up certain aspects of certain things that happened yesterday, because motherfuckers just want to complain. Anyways, I'm talking wrestling, and y'all should know what I'm talking about. So,
I mean,
it's just
Sword and Shield.
What happened yesterday?
Better than Sword and Shield.
What happened yesterday?
Oh no, it's much better than Sword and Shield for sure.
Better than Sword and Shield. I don't think it's better than
Arceus.
No, it's on par with it. I don't think it's better than the Diamond and Pearl remake.
Oh, I still have to play those.
I don't think it's better than that. Like,
I think they'll get Diamond and Pearl.
I think
Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl might still have the title,
the best storyline.
It's best storyline. It's neck and neck with what's it called? That's neck and neck with
Black and White.
No, not Black and White, with Ruby and Sapphire forever. That's what
I think Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, Ruby and Sapphire's story is really Ruby and Sapphire's story is really what changed the game for everybody when it came to Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think with Diamond and Pearl, like the story Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, the story alone was just like, okay, this is it. This is what we need.
Yeah.
Works.
Like that, like you would say, that would be the penultimate, the pinnacle of Pokemon games.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. So if they had an open world for that, everybody would.
Oh yeah,
going
crazy.
The 2D type universe,
2D, 3D,
2D, 3D type universe. Yeah, that was like the best one. Like, to me, as far as like everything that you could do, what was available to you, like I will say this, spelunking aspect.
Yeah. I will say this about Violet and Scarlet. There are and excuse me, and we knew this going into buying the game, but there are definitely certain aspects of Arceus that I wish that they would have kept. Like throwing a Pokeball to catch them without battling. I think that was a very special and unique dynamic that they should have kept.
Mm-hmm.
We're already riding a Pokemon, so that's neither here nor there. I think what I would like to see out of the next game is that it's not locked, that the traveling on the Pokemon is not locked down to specific Pokemon. Or if it is locked down to specific Pokemon, then make it specific Pokemon. Like, make it a Taurus, make it a Tauros, make it a Rapidash, make it a Gyarados, make it a Pidgeot. You know what I mean? Like, make it Pokemon that like the old days where, if you taught Pidgeot fly, then it flew. Well, yeah, you caught the Pidgeot. Now you know that it can fly. So if you do need to fly somewhere, that isn't like the system where it's like a taxi or whatever they're called, the flying cabs or whatever they call it in the games. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, make it a Pidgeot and make it and make a mini game out of it. You know what I mean? Like he has to use Gust to blow away Pharaoh's attacking him. You know what I mean? Right. Like, make it, if you're gonna do something like that, make it fun, make it interesting. That's something that I think, that's something that I think Pokemon hasn't explored yet. and I think that would be really, really fun. Like, imagine using Pidgeot like Knights. You know what I mean? Knights from if people don't know, Knights was a Sega Dreamcast. Sega Saturn game.
Mm-hmm.
Knights into Dreams. Classic, super classic.
Still have one. Sega Saturn.
That's dope. I wish I had my Dreamcast still, but that's a whole nother story.
Saturn expensive, man.
Yeah. But Saturn didn't make much money. But anyways, but yeah, so I think there are certain aspects to the Pokemon games that if explored a little differently, it would be a fresher take to our generation. You know what I mean? And I think but granted, I do think games like Arceus, games like Scarlet and Violet are geared a little more to us because we've been fans from the very jump.
Right.
You know, so, but once again, people, if you're on the fence about buying a game and you would like to see how it is, it's worth the money. It's worth the buy. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely caught that.
Yeah, so what was so Q, you were Final Fantasy 16, I assume, for your anticipated?
Oh shit, anticipated.
I don't, like I said, like I don't really have much. There's really not any of these games that really anticipate for me because, like I said, the one that was the most anticipated, I have it. Yeah, I had it and I beat it. So it's just like it's like
that makes sense.
What left for me to do is just platinum it, and then once I do that, then
what about Tekken?
Oh, Tekken 8. I mean, Tekken 8, it's cool.
Tekken looks dope.
But again, like Heihachi's not there, so it's just like,
he's dead.
Yeah, like that's the point. Like,
spoiler alert! If you haven't played the game that came out more than 5 years ago.
Oh God, it's a fighting game. Story don't fucking matter.
What do you mean the story doesn't fucking matter?
Come on, man. You know, Heihachi's ghost is about to be back. Stop playing.
Like, what are you talking about?
Story matters.
I guess it doesn't. No, Street Fighter story doesn't matter.
I'm not a Street Fighter fan, so that don't hurt me at all.
Tekken story fucking
that story.
Tekken has been the most coherent in 7 than any of the other games.
Street Fighter storyline. People complain about Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter storyline is completely incoherent.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I will tell you whose fighting storyline I do enjoy. Soul Calibur.
Didn't they reboot that shit so many times?
That's once. But
they rebooted it with what? 5, I believe, right? 5 was a reboot. 6 is the reboot?
I think 6 is the reboot.
I thought it was 5.
You could be right, honestly. But 5 was the one with Vader and Yoda, right?
No, that was 4.
Oh, so yeah, it was 5.
It had to be 5, right?
Yeah. 5 had the dude from The Witcher, right?
No, 6 had the one with The Witcher.
5 had Noctis?
No. You're
who was the guest? I am.
5? Who was the guest for 5? Hold on.
You sure it wasn't the dude from The Witcher?
No, he's in 6.
Who the fuck was 5? It's not Kratos.
So no, it definitely
depends on your. I think it was depending on your console, or no.
5.
So Calibur 5.
Not 5. No, that was only 2 when they did that.
I'm about to say wasn't 5 like either it wasn't Vader.
It was Devil Jin. It was Devil Jin and Ezio from
the
Assassin's Creed. That's what it was.
Right. Okay. Because I could have sworn Star Killer was in one of them. Wasn't one of them as well.
Star Killer was in 4.
4. Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. Anglefear, The Apprentice, Darth Vader, and Yoda.
Yeah, and actually, 2 and 4. I don't think 3 did it, but I think 2 and 4 were the ones that were console exclusives. Yep. So people, if you haven't played Soul Calibur, but heard of it, and or Soul Blade, which was the original game on the Dreamcast, the very first one. Excuse me. Soul Calibur 2 was released on the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, and the GameCube. GameCube had, that's the one I had. GameCube had Link from Zelda. PlayStation 2 had Heihachi from Tekken, and Xbox had Spawn. And the Soul Calibur 4, if I'm not mistaken, I think PlayStation had Darth Vader and Xbox had Yoda.
I believe so. That sounds correct.
And then because Apprentice was on both, and Apprentice is from The Force Awakens, Star Wars Force Awakens.
Star Killer.
Yeah, Star Killer. Fun games, by the way, if you haven't gotten a chance to play them.
Which is Sam Witwer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Really cool actor.
Yeah. But yeah, so Soul Calibur, I think the crossovers in these fighting games I think are really cool. Just how they got some of them. I feel like Smash is kind of like a cheat, but even then you're like, how did they even get some of these people or most of these fucking people?
It's a respecting. Everybody loves Sakurai, so he just has to bargain.
Look, hey, listen, I just watched a video and it was suggesting some shit, and I'm not mad at it. So they were like crossover games that Digimon should be in, that Digimon could be in. Smash,
Soul Calibur.
Smash could work.
Soul Calibur.
Yo, Beelzebub. Sorry, let me not. I was about to get into OD amounts of specifics.
But
no. Yeah, you already know. But the thing is that there really are just so many that fits in so many different areas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine them imagine and sorry, this is strictly for the Digimon people because I'm not saying anybody that's well known. I know y'all know though. Can you imagine them bringing back Road Rage and then putting Locomon in that shit, like Grand Locomon and some shit, like you know what I mean? Imagine Train Simulator with Locomon, like what?
Yeah, they could do so many crossovers.
I know people. Locomon is a train style Pokemon, so I mean Digimon. Excuse me. So.
Oh well. On that note, since we're speaking of Digimon, I'm gonna just transition into something real quick. There's a new. They just dropped the trailer for Kaiju number 8, and it's being done by the same studio that does Digimon, and it's a Kaiju anime.
Which Digimon? Or which
Digimon?
Is
Toho.
Oh, okay. So
Toho does strictly Kaiju shit. So they're the Godzilla studio. They released a trailer. Kaiju number 8 is basically about a guy who gets caught. He's a part of a monster cleaning foundation or association. So they have the team that actually exterminates the kaiju, and he's part of the cleanup situation. And he wanted to be, the number one guy on the crew. And he ended up getting himself involved in some shit, and he gets taken over by a kaiju. So he finds out that he's actually one of the strongest kaiju that ever existed out of all of them. And it's pretty fun. So to have the actual kaiju studio be animating it is actually pretty damn dope. Any last words, any final topics before we go?
I mean, of course, it's been, unfortunately, as you can see, wrestling has been in a little bit of a tizzy. They've, between the last 3 days, we already spoke about Vince.
Are you going to talk about what I just alluded to?
I mean, we got past that with Vince. I was going to say, again, major congratulations to Roxanne Perez, winning the NXT championship.
Well done.
Well done. Shout outs again, another protege of Booker T. It was well deserved.
Crying.
I will say, I'll be brief with it. With everything that's going on with the whole Mandy Rose situation, what I've seen is that a lot of folks don't really know the basis of business, and clearly don't know and clearly really are just using this to push a narrative, but they don't care about sex work. All I ain't really got much for it. You know, if they told that she had a pretty good brand deal with Mattel, and if Mattel was the one that went to the boards and was just like, hey, you know,
Mattel snitched.
Not even no Mattel and snitch. Obviously, it was Twitter. Twitter snitched. Let's not get that. No air controls. They snitched, and if that and it just goes to show that the company actually is paying attention. Like, yes, they're following it online, duh, but you know, the only lesson that we learn here is, kids, the game is to be sold, not told.
Yeah.
You're not like, bottom line, there was literally no reason for any of y'all to be leaking, even if she was doing the supposed thing, explicit shit that we all can see. You did not have to go and leak the shit on Twitter and not think that no one was going to go and catch wind of it and keep retweeting it. And honestly, it's weird because all the y'all that we retweeted it were laughing at it. Y'all were laughing. Y'all were making jokes about it. And now y'all are trying to play like advocates of sex work because now that WWE had no choice but to release her. But then they also said she's open to come back. The door's always open for her to come back. It's bottom line. If she didn't, even if she, and if that's not the case, if the other part is that she didn't really want to stop doing it because she was making more money than she was already making on the main roster,
right?
Good for her. Can I add something before? Sorry, I just real quick, because I know Stretch is going to say something profound. Let me tell you my issue, and I will try my best to make it brief. My problem, and I'm not okay. We're all on Twitter. At least us. We're all on Twitter. We see the shit that they've been saying, that people have been saying. Oh, you shouldn't have fired her. Oh, you know, you had Xavier, Page, you had Playboy, you had all of this shit. Let me just break some shit down real quick. Number one, back when they did Playboy, it was a different fucking time. And you can't say that doesn't matter, because it fucking does. Because if that was the case, then they would be doing the same and or similar shit that they did in the Attitude Era, and they're not. So cut that fucking narrative out. That's number one. Number two, Xavier Woods, Paige, Brad Maddox, Charlotte, whoever the fuck else had anything else on the internet that was shown when it came to something like that, and what Mandy did. Let me explain something to y'all. What happened to everybody else were fucking leaks. They were not going to post that shit. What Mandy did was willingly sold pictures of herself nude. Now let me Mattel obviously, even if that wasn't known to everybody, somebody had to know. I'm sorry. Somebody had to know. And it probably would have been fine. And just like you said, if Mattel never said anything. Now, what would you rather lose? One contract that might be $800,000 a year, maybe, or multiple multi-millions of fucking dollars, if not billions. She can go. And who said that the WWE was even the one that asked her to go? Because by her tweet, she sounded like she was straight.
Yeah, if she making more money, then fuck it. Like, do what you gotta do.
Plus,
I mean, remember, this is the Zelina situation. Like, Zelina was making mad bread on Twitch. Like, why would I leave?
She's up to subscription price to $40 a month. So
somebody gonna pay for it.
Now you know what?
Never ever underestimate the power of a simp dollar.
Of a perv? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, for sure.
There are people. If she's charging $100 a month, there are men out there who is going to spend that money.
That will willingly watch that.
Shit, and vice versa.
I mean, he pretty much hit the nail on the head. Everything I was going to say, really. I mean,
wow.
to be perfectly honest, like a lot of people comparing this to like Playboy and stuff. You have to understand back then times were different. Not only that, that was a mutual exchange between two businesses.
Yep.
There's a level of business consent there, right?
Absolutely.
No morality clauses involved and stuff. It's like, hey, you give us some of your stars to pose for Playboy, and in turn you get free publicity and stuff like that. So it's a licensing thing, right?
Really?
Yep.
Brad Maddox situation with Paige, Xavier Woods, Brad Maddox. There's a consent situation there. Mandy Rose is willingly doing this.
Yep.
She's willingly showing her body for a price.
Yep.
That's an enterprise. That's business. Regardless of what anybody says or whatever, oh, she's not this, she's a porn star or whatever. That's business. I don't give a damn what anyone thinks or whatever. That is a business transaction.
Right.
Pictures, that's a business transaction. No different from
everyone's sitting here. Now everyone's trying to sit here and say, again, there is a difference. They said like, oh, y'all didn't fire her when she posed on IG, with the two belts with the UK title.
Because it was not the same.
It goes with what I say. There is a difference between erotic art and there's a difference between erotic art and porn. Erotic art,
true.
Yes, erotic art. You can literally erotic art, and this is a history lesson for anybody. You could be right now. You can show yourself bare. You can show angles. You can even show your bare ass if you wanted to. As soon as this is for a man and a woman. As a man, if you turn around and if you have yourself completely shaved, you will get flagged because that is considered porn. Whereas same thing for women. If you're showing yourself bare, bare breast showing, titty showing, if you got your that private area, you have that completely shaved. That's if it's bush, it's good, it's art. But if it's completely shaved, that's porn. That's literally what Mandy was showing on those pics. It is legit porn. You're literally showing yourself in the shower.
Dry humping.
Yeah,
come on now.
Porn. That's porn.
Come on.
That's just legit. That's pornography.
Like it just
and mind you, we're not the ones that made the rules.
Right. We're not mad at it. It is what it is.
But that's just what it is.
Do you, boo boo? I'm not mad at you. What I'm mad about is the sympathy. What the fuck are y'all sympathetic for? Like, cut that shit out. I'm sorry. And there's people that I'm real cool with. Like, I'm pretty sure we all are having the same conversation with friends, with people on Twitter. Like, stop being sympathetic because no one in this situation right now is showing any sympathy. So please cut that bitch out.
Not only that, it's like, one, she's not.
Wow, I'm really furious.
In way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure she's making a lot more per month than what she was with WWE.
Right, and you got to deal with Brand Army. Like Nia Jax got shit on Brand Army, and
not only that,
that's not even going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, but it's like I see it now. Like these are the same individuals who were complaining when she was initially champion. Now championing her cause. Like, oh, why did they make her drop the title? I'm like, this is really the hill to die on now. Like,
really, like no, Faye, but even Faye
does not care nearly as much as everyone else.
Literally, even Faye.
Again, I don't know. I can't.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying even Faye said it. Has said it on Twitter. She's
Faye
like,
Jackson, right?
Faye Jackson, yeah. Don't go defend her now. Y'all the ones. Y'all ones that did this, sir. Don't go defend her.
Exactly.
Y'all were the same ones.
If you really fans, you would have leaked her shit. Like, come on now.
That's why I said the game is to be sold, not told. And at the same time, y'all were the same ones that go and keep calling her mid. So which one is it?
Wait, hold on. And you know what? And I don't think anybody has said this yet. I like all of the shit I've read, and it's been what, 2 days, 3 days? All of the shit I've read, the spaces I've listened to, or whatever. No one has said fuck the person who leaked it. Like,
right? That's
like fuck y'all for fucking her up, for fucking her game up,
or look. And I'll say that this is my opinion and my opinion alone. So you guys will not take the brunt for this. But even if you're fucking leaking the pictures, why the fuck would you put it on Twitter? Of all places, if you're leaking it to your friends, then leak it privately. Why the fuck are you putting it on a public forum?
Because people don't
everybody's
understand.
Gonna get.
Bro, people don't understand.
People to see it, right? Like he was trying to DM people like for months. Like fuck that nigga, man.
Man, like,
Here's the thing, right? Yo, people don't understand how much one action can fuck up the whole bag.
Exactly.
For real. Like you really
like one moment can fuck up the whole bag.
Like no funny shit. Like low key, you motherfucker, you caused this woman her job. Like you caused this woman her job, and I say if I was Mandy need to go and sue this motherfucker that went and leaked the shit to begin with.
Exactly.
And take him for everything that he got.
Everything.
And he's proud of it. Y'all know that y'all saw that shit.
That's the incel behavior.
He's proud of that shit.
Yeah.
That's the incel behavior. And
That's
I bet it was somebody who was mad that she was champion and wanted to do everything in his power to get her fucked up. That is exactly how it is.
Like I said, Mandy's gonna be fine. She ain't worried about no fucking money.
She ain't pressed.
And obviously they're gonna bring her back. Yeah,
they'll bring her back down the line.
This is just the board. The board honestly was just overreacting. That's how I look at it. The board overreacted.
You know what this is like? This is the Eva Marie situation.
Right.
Where they had her come back and push the boundaries, have the top flying off, and all this other stuff. They've done it with Mandy before, if I remember correctly. They've teetered the lines of this when she was on the main roster.
And I think and the thing is like Mandy, I think Mandy even knew she was teetering the line. She knew it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's just like, yo, it's okay. It's
so when I told y'all that mandate happened, and I'm still wondering why the fuck is this stuff still happening after I told y'all that mandate happened.
But once again,
it's craziness.
No, it's not, because if you look at boom, like another example, Scarlett. Scarlett has OnlyFans. But Scarlett is Scarlett out here doing having fucking full on like she going full on porn with her and Carrion? No, she's literally just posting bikini pics. This is where it says, this is why they say they don't mind them having their third party side hustles. Do what you want. Just make sure it's tamed to a degree. And that's fine. It's understandable.
Andy was having I've seen some things like
some things.
Like man, there was a video of Mandy wearing a tank top and like she was spraying herself down with water, like making sure her chest was prominent.
Yeah,
video,
right.
That's an image, sir.
Come on now, you ain't gonna see y'all gonna sit here and try to talk.
It's like it's kind of QS is right. Like it kind of teeters that fine line of like art and then like pure.
Porn.
My thing is simply. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say my thing is. I'm a little calmer now. My thing is simply that people need to look at the whole picture before reacting. Like don't be reactionary. Like my sister tells me that shit all the time. Don't be reactionary. Like don't like think. Like think first. You know what I mean? Like. Get all of the info first. Yo, we saw that we saw WWE released Mandy Rose, and everybody jumped to conclusions. Like this is the problem. You know what? This beginning of the year we're doing it. I don't. I think it's time. We revisit it. This is the problem with fans. Like I won't go anymore, but it's just. People want to be reactionary. Wait a second and learn. Wait a second and listen to everything that's happening. Like, it's just stop, yo. She's good. Shut the fuck. Like she's good. She's good. If she doesn't wrestle again, she's fucking good. At least for
I think
at least for a couple years.
Like the last thing to just say, I know it's just recent. It just came out. I just want to give another reminder again that. Nobody is turning on Mercedes Renato, also known as Sasha Banks, until January 1st. No one is turning against her. No one is sitting here calling her out her name. No one's assaulting her. No one's going to sit here and say, I guess anybody over here, you could say it here at the Four Corners of Commentary. None of us are going to sit here and turn against this woman and say that we're never going to watch her again because she's not in the heat. At the end of the day, Mercedes did what she needed to do. Mercedes is getting her money, and she's rightfully so. She'll be an asset to any company. And if any, like bottom line, you could run down the facts. Y'all could sit here and run this stupid narrative to say like WWE blew it with her. They didn't treat her well. You're talking about the woman that was the first. She was the first ever women's tag team champion. first ever black women's tag team champion, first two-time as a black woman. She's the first ever women's tag team champion. This is the first woman that main evented a Hell in a Cell. This is the first woman that main evented in a women's Iron Woman match. This is literally a woman that has trailblazed numerous times. She's one of the peak of the women's revolution, was one of the ones that actually started and helped up and brought it up into WrestleMania.
No, I was gonna say, don't forget the fact that she probably has one of the greatest women's matches of all time with Bayley.
Oh, absolutely. Has one of the greatest. We know
which is one of the greatest matches. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. One of the greatest matches ever.
Not even that, and then not only that, even with a short feud, she still was able to make history and was the first black, and it is part of being one of the first ever black women to main event WrestleMania with Bianca Belair.
Yep.
Y'all didn't care about the shit. You did not give a shit about all the ones that sitting here saying that they blew it. Nah, they didn't blow it. They actually did what they had to do. And if Sasha felt like she's done with WWE for now, all right, she's done with them for now.
Let her travel the world.
Let her travel.
She's building her brand. She's building her brand.
And rightfully so. Like at the end of the day, Sasha granted, yes.
She don't owe shit to nobody. She doing what she want to do for herself.
Now I will say this, that yes, that WWE did help her brand herself to put her on this platform, and she did end up betting on herself, and she's gonna reap the rewards for it. But let's not sit here. But y'all not gonna sit here with this stupid ass notification and error saying that like, they treated her wrong. Like, no, they didn't. They did right. They did what
they could.
Yeah, they did what they could.
They tried to offer her a contract. They said that it didn't match what she wanted, and she's human. Everybody
in the company moved on.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's it.
We're gonna still sit here. We're gonna watch her in
Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom. We're gonna watch her, and if she ends up going to AEW, we'll watch her there too.
Right.
I just hope y'all do right by her. That's all.
Absolutely.
Hey, I do have a quick question that I read today, and I'm very intrigued. Someone said that Sasha Banks is the woman's version of The Rock, of Dwayne Johnson when it comes to the WWE.
She's not there.
Maybe not in. I was thinking about it, and I reacted
about crossover appeal, maybe. But
that's what I'm saying. Like I thought, I literally reacted the same way, but then I thought about it, and I was like, maybe at the level, of course not. Come on, this is The Rock. He's the greatest. He's the top action star right now. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest wrestlers of all time. But like,
not the best superhero of all time, though.
Sadly. Poor Rock. But anyways,
he really tried.
I bet he did. I didn't watch it. I'll wait till it comes on HBO.
Next week?
Oh, dope. I'll watch it next week. But you know what I mean? Like she has. I'll say this. She has the potential.
No, tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow. Actually, go ahead.
Oh, word?
Yeah, tomorrow.
I'll be watching that at work. No, I'm just playing. But I think with her crossover,
and
there's that too.
Well, do we give it a minute or do we?
Two quick things. One, more power to Sasha Banks. She's got her fingers in a lot of different pots, movies.
Disney. The Disney bag is enough.
Disney, The Mandalorian. I think she's actually also in the medical marijuana business.
She is.
Marijuana business. So she's making a lot of no pun intended bank, and more power to her.
She's making
also,
Monet.
For those people who are watching this podcast, if you buy a Donald Trump NFT, you are an idiot. That's all I got to say.
If you buy an NFT, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have money.
Just enjoy it for what it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Enjoy it for what it is. Stop trying to think that because now Sasha will want to go and do what she wants, that this is still this is the Monday Night Wars, and Sasha being over there is going to put WWE in the ground. Let's cut the bullshit. Not that serious. Y'all are doing too much.
She ain't there yet, but she well deserved needs to travel the world and show that she's the best.
Let her live her dream. She gets to do that. Like, and
also,
let
her go to Japan, man. Again,
I mean, that's exactly where she's going. I think she's been training in Japan. But go ahead.
I think it's also a little. No, well, I think for now Japan is a go because for right now, even though they can't really afford her for I guess the long term thing. But for now, they got her. But I think
she probably won't go for the money.
But I think
it's a passion project.
But but I think it's kind of sad that like everyone's so fixated and kept talking about Sasha, like y'all literally erased Naomi completely. It's just like, bro, like that's how I knew like this shit wasn't a real narrative. Y'all never really cared about where she went. Y'all just didn't want her there in the E, and that just means you're not a real fan of her.
Exactly.
I was talking about people turning on her, like nobody's turning on her. Y'all just weren't really fans. Y'all not just admit it. Y'all not fans when they're any of these superb athletes that are wrestling in WWE because of whatever the recency bias or whatever personal vendetta you have against Vince McMahon or in this company because you had to deal with it for so many years. Y'all have made up this foolish narrative that y'all made up this dumbass narrative that like that anybody in the E is going to fail, and that's just not been true. That's never been proven. Like it's not proven to be true. Like
Nope.
Sometimes it's okay to enjoy wrestling. It is okay to enjoy wrestling from both sides, but it is also okay to realize that these wrestlers don't know any of you. You don't know them. You don't know them. Right. You don't know them. Never have to sit there and feel like you have all these opinions of people. You know, how do you have all these opinions of individuals that you don't know? They don't know you, and you don't know them. Y'all but you know what? That's just another thing for that fans just getting too entitled. Y'all
another day
entitled, and y'all think
we can revisit the fans next year, man. Yeah. So that is a wrap for Shooting the Shit for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So how the hell do we do this thing again? Because
what you mean? Tired. You do what we always do, brother. Oh, I gotta say it. I mean, go ahead. Gentlemen, let's do what we do.
Is it? Oh no, is it? Oh, okay. Is it? Who is it?
It's Stretch.
It's Stretch first.
Good help is hard to find these days. I tell you.
It's Stretch.
Look,
I mean, what can I do? All my mojo has been destroyed. I was supposed to go first, but couldn't. There it is. Humanoids. Follow it.
Humanoids.
Yes, everybody. You already know where to follow. Follow me. You already know. Once again, also give thanks. I will say, we'll see what happens next week. I give an early birthday shout out to my boy, my brother Daryl. Birthday's next week, but never know what's going to happen. Probably do it up for you this weekend. And also, it is a special happy 1 year to myself and the lady in my life.
Hey, a year! Wow!
Congrats! Let's go!
Congrats!
It's next week. We're just doing it early. I'm just telling you early.
Fuck it. Congratulations. That's all that matters.
All love. Always gonna love you always, love you to life, and love you to death. And that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, beautifully said. All right, I'll go. Even though I should go last. But it's me, StrykerDragoon. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, all the same. You weren't here, sir. You weren't here. I got the button right now.
I wasn't saying shit.
Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, all the same. YouTube is StrykerDragoon131 because people still have my fucking name. But I finished God of War. I will be back on my regular streaming schedule when I get a good way through Crisis Core. I'm not streaming that until I get my PS5, but you may see me play High on Life. Very funny game by the Rick and Morty creators. So basically you're playing I want to say an astronaut, and you're going to a planet, and you get different talking guns, and they all have different personalities and powers. Like they break the fourth wall. You pause the game, and they're cursing at you when you come back. They're like, "Why'd you pause the game? Why'd you leave me here so long?" So it's very interesting stuff. You have a couple interesting games coming out within the next couple months. But that's it. Subscribe. 15 away from 100, and I'll do a double game giveaway. Whatever type of game you want, as long as it's standard edition. And that's that. And there you go, sir.
And as always, I am K Marvel. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Marvel87. Please follow the podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Oh, I'm all off right now. At CO Commentary. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so you can follow hashtag Four Corners of Commentary if you ever want to talk about us on whatever. Hashtag Four Corners of Commentary. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube is at the Council of Commentary. TikTok at Council of Commentary, and Twitter at CO Commentary. Come on, Elon, let's get a full name out here. Like 15 letters, and then we got 150 fucking letters for tweets now.
Really?
Like
really?
We need to speak.
Really?
Yes,
really?
I'm gonna rant, and Elon gets a minute on the show. Apparently, Dave Chappelle dick eats Elon Musk. Apparently.
All right.
But
that is the views of Stryker is not the views of the Four Corners.
Once again, I said it's all me. It's all my views.
That's fine.
You can follow us on where is it at? There we go. You can follow us on all streaming platforms at YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, and wherever you find your streaming platforms or streaming services. What else we got to do, guys?
That's it, bro.
We are your Four Corners of Commentary.
I don't know if you see it. I'm trying.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we out here.
And
Peace.
That's about it. We out.